Hello, this is a presentation from the PUC Clinical Counseling team, and today this will be a presentation on taking advantage of the journaling process for your own mental health and beyond. So the first point is, what do you write about? How do you get started? Uh, with this time of COVID, there might be a mix of emotions that you might be feeling, some simultaneously, and it might be hard to kind of understand what you're going through. There's a lot of loss, a lot of confusion. And so write about that. Write about your experiences. Write about the goods, the bads, the stresses, but also the excitements. What is remaining the same, or what is something that you're excited about or looking forward to. Having the balance, but kind of writing out your experience. And again, it's not an assignment. You can write as little or as much as you need to, um, really as you see it, but just kind of to document your thoughts, especially if you have so many thoughts racing in your head that you're not sure what to say first. It's good to write them down somewhere, either in a journal or notebook. Again, you can document the good and the bad. Just helps to kind of get all your thoughts out there. But also try to keep a balance and remind yourself of your own strengths. It's easy to forget what we have overcome, with the pandemic being a big area of focus. It's kind of hard to see what we've overcome already. And so start to think about, your strengths and what you have overcome up to this point, because it's easy to forget. And how specifically can this help you? It can help with emotions that are difficult to express otherwise. So, as I've mentioned prior, sometimes some things we're experiencing them, but we don't know quite how to put words to them, or we don't know quite what is going on for us. So, it helps give you that voice, give you that expression when you just don't know quite how to express yourself, or maybe you're not ready to express yourself to family or friends. It can be that preparation to give you the confidence to mention what you're going through. Um, and you don't need to just do writing. I'm going to also explore other creative and artistic means of expression that can help you um, kind of get out what emotions you're experiencing during this time of COVID. But does help to pick one of these kind of methods and express yourself, because you don't want to bottle up your stresses or kind of let them build up without either reaching out or finding some way to express them in a healthy and creative way. And as mentioned prior, it really helps you gather your thoughts. Many of us are experiencing what is known as COVID brain. What is this? Well, with so many things in our heads, and with focusing on doing everything from school to work from the computer, sometimes we can either lose track of the day or lose track of what we want to say, organizing our time, and this can even go for our thoughts and our emotions. So much is kind of one thing after the other that sometimes we don't have a moment to kind of sit with how we're feeling. So this gives you good practice in sitting with your emotions and, you know, not judging them. It takes practice, but this is a good practice to just kind of get them to the surface. And then from there, you can use um, kindness and meditation to kind of process them. But sometimes you're not sure what you're experiencing, and this might help with bringing that to the surface. Maybe sometimes you need to vent. So much of this COVID situation is out of our control, at least in the moment. It's unpredictable. And so you might need to vent about your frustration. Helps to get it out sometimes. And I'm going to explore, like I said, other means if you're, more artistically inclined. Um, you don't necessarily need to write in journals. You can explore music, but I'm also going to explore some further examples as we go forward. And again, this could also serve as preparation. Maybe there's something you want to bring up. you're not quite ready, you can write about it and kind of practice it that way in front of a mirror until you're ready to bring it up to friends or family. Kind of that rehearsal. So, what if writing just isn't my thing? Completely understandable. And so, with this in mind, you could write songs, you could write a blog. Um, the good thing about like a blog, if you find the right communities, you don't want to find. You always want to be diligent when you're finding any sort of internet community. Um, Main things to focus on are, of course, safety, but uh, you don't want to find a community that puts you down. Obviously, keep your parents involved and talk them through the process, but it does help if you find community of either peers in your class or even reaching out to extended family to kind of blog about your experiences or even just free form and creating a blog about your experience could turn into a creative project that if you are artistically inclined you can put on a resume later on. Drawing art, some people enjoy drawing, so this might inspire some art projects. It helps you identify your emotions that you may be experiencing and helps you reach out. Again, sometimes it may be uncomfortable to reach out at first. Sometimes you're not sure what to say or what is bothering you. This helps you identify for yourself what is bothering you. Gives you an outlet of expression since much of this pandemic is unpredictable. Uh, but you might be saying to yourself, what if I'm struggling more than I'd like to admit? First of all, some points that we need to make. That's okay. We don't need to have all the answers. And it's okay to admit when we need help. It might sound cliche up to this point, but this really is a period unlike anything we've ever experienced in our lifetime. And with that, we may have difficulty or discomfort about reaching out for help. But I say here, and I will continue to reiterate um, for the next few minutes, but if you were to see me in person, I would also reiterate to you that we need to understand that it is okay to reach out for help. It's okay to admit when we need help. You shouldn't expect perfection of yourself because that's an impossibility. And to admit that we need help is also not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of really understanding ourselves and our emotions and what's going on for us. That we are having difficulty and that, hey, we need help and we need to reach out. So, with that in mind, take advantage of the resources you have available to you, whether that's clinical counseling through PUC, social opportunities during your lunch period. If you're struggling academically, there's tutoring, there's the Remind app. You can always email your teachers. Many of your teachers have office hours. The biggest thing is don't be afraid to ask for help because more than likely your peers are also afraid. But that's what your teachers are there for. That's what counseling is there for if you need it. All these resources here from PUC are really to support you in your learning, and also part of that is, if it is part of it, your mental health. We here at PUC want to see you succeed, and big thing here, it is okay to admit when we need help. So, what if you would like to find out more information about counseling? You can let a teacher know, or you can even contact our director directly, c.sartiaguda. There is her PUC email, and she will help you connect with the clinical counseling services. It's available for free to all families who have a student at a PUC school, and really take advantage of this. And it's not, it may be, maybe you have some hesitations. You can always ask questions before you, go into counseling. Um, if you find it's not for you, you can stop at any time. But do not rule it out just because you are afraid to ask for help. It is okay to ask for help, and it is actually a sign that you know that you need help because you're struggling. This has been a presentation by the Plug Clinical Counseling Team. Thank you very much.